New York Knicks UNC, Nassir Little. Photo by Streeter Lecka, Getty Images. The New York Knicks have 13 games remaining in the 2018-19 season, and it can't end soon enough. With the NBA's worst record and few pieces to remain excited about, this team has been in free fall since the 18-game losing streak started earlier this campaign. The silver lining is the draft, however, as the Knicks project to win at least a top 5 pick. That happens before July's unpredictable free agency, which will feature some of the NBA's top talents enter the open market. A top prospect will join New York, pending they keep this pick, and partake in the 2019-20 campaign and beyond. It could be a postseason team, as well, pending the players that arrive this summer. How do the prospects fit into the current team and the potential players that may sign in July? Let's take a look. Nassir Little, uncaged, 19 height, weight, 6'6", 215 pounds. Lash line, .468, .283, .774. Season averages, 9.4 ppg, 4.6 rpg, 0.7 apg, 0.6 spg, 0.6 bpg, 0.43 pm. Nassir Little was once grouped with the Duke Stars and others. His spot near the top of the nation's recruiting list brought unquestioned hype, and North Carolina as the commitment destination helped the 19-year-old's stock on brand name alone. The numbers have not followed, due to limited playing time in head coach Roy Williams' rotation. He has a veteran team, and Little may have started on almost any other college basketball team. Even with that, Little still projects as a top 10 pick. His size, 7-foot wingspan and athleticism offer intriguing defensive potential. The offensive upside has shown in glimpses and is one of the few attributes missing from this physically regarded prospect's game. On the New York Knicks, Little can slide into the middle of the lineup, next to the porous defender Kevin Knox is. That can supplement the team's backcourt scorers, who currently are more offensive-minded than the other way around. Any kind of defensive improvement on the wing is important for this Knicks team, but there are also scoring questions that accompany this, a la when Frank Ntilikina entered the NBA with physical upside and doubt on offense. Little is not Ntilikina, though. He's scored in double-digit points on more than 10 occasions this season and is more athletic than the sophomore Knicks guard. They match his body type and defensive acumen, which is fine, but there should be more confidence in the Tar Heel freshman's game, given what he's also done in limited time. Can he become the outside shooter New York needs? Page 2. Gonzaga Rui Hachimura. Photo by Theron W. Henderson, Getty Images. Age, 21. Height, weight, 6'9", 234 pounds. Lash line, .609, .469, .741. Season averages, 20.1 ppg, 6.6 rpg, 1.6 apg, 1.0 spg, 0.8 bpg, 0.53 pm. Rui Hachimura's rise was always expected, as he sat behind more experienced players over the past 2 years and put up positive numbers in limited time. That led to a full-time starting role in 2018-19, and, as of the WAC conference tournament, he has over 20 points per game on a scorching 60.9% shooting. The Japanese sensation never slowed down in the Pacific Northwest, and it solidified him as a top prospect in the 2019 NBA draft. He arrives with questions, however, on holding up as an NBA shooter, since he only takes 1 three-pointer per game, does not own a position per se. Does it matter if Hachimura is a tweener, though? On the New York Knicks it should not, especially if Kevin Durant arrives. Stick those two at the basic forward spots, and they are physically imposing players for opponents to handle. Without any top names around, Hachimura can slide into the front court as a go-to player next to Mitchell Robinson. He can play off Knox as a more aggressive, efficient player. That may not result in the much-needed floor spacing head coach David Fizdale's team needs, but a big body that works into the rotation and can occasionally start. This is another player that might not have to develop as much as Nassir, but will the Knicks wait, if there is a period at all, for Hachimura to continue learning the game of basketball and grow into his potentially all-around skill set? Page 3 New York Knicks Jarrett Culver, photo by John Wiest, Getty Images, age, 20, height, weight, 6'6", 199 pounds, lash line, .486, .323, .704, season averages, 18.5 ppg, 6.3 rpg, 3.6 apg, 1.3 spg, 0.4 bpg, 1.33 pma. Way too early departure from the Big 12 tournament ended more chances at watching Jarrett Culver play for Texas Tech before the real March Madness begins later this month. However, his stock rose as the season neared its end, placing him as a potential top 10 pick in June. Like the other draft prospects mentioned, Culver is long and has the NBA size. Questions exist in his name, but he can at least hold up as a typical shooting guard, for the most part. A dip in three-point shooting hurt the sophomore, but it was in an expansive role sans Zaire Smith and others. His usage rate also drove up to 31.2% as a result, which is an anomaly since he won't replicate that in the NBA, unless star potential is reached. With the New York Knicks, Culver can assume a lead role immediately, pending no big names signed via free agency. That seems difficult to believe, but Durant, Kyrie Irving and others can all re-sign with their incumbent teams or join another cap-friendly team. This is part of the scoring needs the Knicks have, but he also groups into the Damian Dotson Alonzo Trier area. Both have no guarantees to stick beyond this season, so players off Dennis Smith Jr. or whoever handles point guard next year are still necessary. Culver could become one of the team's top scorers and even work as a sixth man off the bench, if the Knicks opt for Trier to start, or if someone else takes shooting guard. Either way, this player fills a need around the 4th or 5th spot in the draft. Page 4 Duke Cam Reddish, photo by Streeter Lecka, Getty Images, age, 20, height, weight, 6'9", 205 pounds, lash line, .355, .332, .760, season averages, 14.3 ppg, 3.7 rpg, 2.1 apg, 1.7 spg, 0.5 bpg, 2.63 pm. Cameron Reddish entered the 2018-19 season as the nation's third best recruit, and the No. 3 on Duke's team of superstar freshmen. That pushed him to the background, maybe for the better, but did not do him justice statistically. Defense is there for Reddish on the wing, which already makes him a fit on the New York Knicks next to Knox. The offensive numbers are a concern, as seen above, since he shoots poorly everywhere except the free throw line. It's as the 20-year-old forward takes an astounding 7.9 three-point attempts per game to just 4.8 from inside the arc. Maybe a product of playing with the college basketball's best, but concerning nonetheless. Handling the basketball is another problem for Reddish, as Forbes' Tommy Beer noted. Cam Reddish over Duke's last 10 games, 30 turnovers and just 17 assists. While shooting 32% from the floor, Tommy Beer, at Tommy Beer, March 16, 2019. Entering Friday's ACC tournament semifinal, Reddish averaged 2.8 turnovers per game to just 2.1 assists. It highlights carelessness across the offensive realm, including the aforementioned shooting. However, he should still be a top pick for the potential to reel this in, with development, and use that athleticism and length to suffocate opposing players. If he can do that on the Knicks, imagine how well Fizdale can use the Westtown School product in versatile lineups. Page 5 Duke RJ Barrett, photo by Rich Gracel, Icon Sports Wire via Getty Images, age, 19, height, weight, 6'7", 208 pounds, lash line, .459, .314, .665, season averages, 23.3 ppg, 7.5 rpg, 4.1 apg, 0.8 spg, 0.4 bpg, 2.03 pm. RJ Barrett fits on the New York Knicks with ease, as currently constructed. There is a gaping hole for someone to take over the offense, and his scoring ability is practically unmatched in this draft class. Selfishness with the basketball may plague Barrett at times, and he needs work as an outside shooter, but this player still slashes to the hoop and creates opportunities for himself, unlike most collegiate talent. This kid is the real deal, but he also took a step back for Zion Williamson, who's owned the spotlight since October. Like Reddish, maybe that's not the worst thing, as he's still the second or third best player in this class. Criticism can go Barrett's way for usage rate. He's involved 32.8% of the time, which tops Williamson. Skeptics of the Canadian star may point to that, and how Duke played without the likely no. One pick in the draft has a reason to sour, but talent still exists in someone that can redefine New York's offense and act as the second or third best scorer immediately. Barrett may need a few years to develop into the scorer he's capable of being, but this is someone for the Knicks to build around and watch grasp the offense for the next 5 to 10 years. Page 6 Murray State, Ja Morant, photo by Stephen First, Icon Sportswire via Getty Images, age, 20, height, weight, 6'3", 170 pounds, lash line, .503, .336, .810 season averages, 24.6 ppg, 4.3 rpg, 10.0 apg, 1.8 spg, 0.8 bpg, 5.2 tpg, 1.63 pm. Every few drafts, a mid-major prospect rises to the forefront and lands in the top 10. Stephen Curry and Damian Lillard are just some of those players, both of whom are point guards. By June, Ja Morant will likely join them. The star from Murray State, Morant is the high-flying, athletic point guard that could rise quickly among the players at his position in the pros. He soars like Russell Westbrook and resembles his game across the board, even in his sky-high turnover rate. Morant is by far this team's alpha, though, and has a 33.2 usage rate. There are other talented scorers, including Leroy Buchanan and Tevin Brown from behind the arc, but no one approaches the impact this star sophomore makes at both ends of the floor, especially with 10 assists per game and almost a pair of three-pointers. The New York Knicks could use another point guard, as the Frank Ntilikina experiment flounders. Emmanuel Mudiay hits restricted free agency and Dennis Smith Jr. is a prime trade candidate and is flawed like the others. If the organization does not believe in any of them, that's where Morant factors in. He has the excitement Smith brings and the long arms like Ntilikina. It's just a matter of how this gaudy stat line translates to the NBA that makes the difference. Morant should land in the top 3 or 5 in the draft, where the Knicks will select. He's not essential, but if Scott Perry and Steve Mills feel this 20-year-old upgrades a rotating position, then this is an intriguing pick. Page 7 Duke Zion Williamson, photo by Streeter Lecka, Getty Images, age, 19, height, weight, 6'6", 285 pounds, lash line, .696, .306, .646 season averages, 21.9 ppg, 9.0 rpg, 2.2 apg, 2.3 spg, 1.8 bpg, 0.63 pm. Zion Williamson is the consensus no. 1 pick of the 2019 NBA Draft via mock drafts and just by watching this young talent dominate for Duke. He captivated college basketball upon arrival, and there's little doubt this won't continue at the next level. Williamson fits any team, including the New York Knicks, that he joins in the draft. If not, the organization that selects him must clear room and allow this generational talent to rise. Sure, he has yet to play an NBA game, but the astonishing physical profile and supreme athleticism are nothing to scoff at. Picture Williamson with Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. That team immediately competes in the Eastern Conference against the Milwaukee Bucks, Philadelphia 76ers and others, and saves New York basketball from itself. The potential is unlimited for that trio, and it's awe-inspiring to consider what they could do together. However, the Knicks' potential pursuit of a superstar via trade may thwart anyone ever seeing Williamson play in the blue and orange. They were previously rumored for Anthony Davis, and the first overall pick immediately becomes their best asset. Next, 25 greatest players in NYK history. Aside from that potential hiccup, Williamson in a Knicks uniform is realistic for 2019-20. They, for now, have a 14% chance at this, which ties with the second and third worst records, so it's hardly guaranteed, but fans can start to dream of the next superstar at the Mecca.